Make it a trillion? This has become a disgusting rallying cry on X, formerly known as Twitter, whenever faithful Latter-day Saints discuss the Church of Jesus Christ of Latter-day Saints passing $300 billion in total valuation. These people boast that even that much isn't enough. They want to see the wealth balloon to $1 trillion. But folks, this is the worship of mammon cloaked in religious loyalty. Jesus is reported to have said on the Sermon on the Mount, "No man can serve two masters, for either he will hate the one and love the other, or else he will be loyal to the one and despise the other. You cannot serve God and Mammon." Is it righteous stewardship to want to see the church go past $300 billion in total valuation, which is already like almost endless money, to see it reach $1 trillion? Absolutely not. This is an outright betrayal of Christ's message. It reflects a disgusting fealty to corporate wealth and power rather than to Jesus himself. This thinking is Antichrist at its core because it glorifies a bankrupt organization's financial empire rather than living out the master's call to serve the poor, uplift the needy, and detach from greed. Jesus constantly rebuked the hoarding of riches while exalting a generous disposition. Remember back to when Jesus was asked what a man must do to obtain eternal life from the rich man. "Sell all that you have and distribute to the poor, and you will have treasure in heaven, and come follow me." Yet rather than meaningfully distribute its surplus to the poor, Mormon Incorporated continues to amass wealth at an ever-increasing rate, which, if nothing changes, will reach $1 trillion in the next 20 years. And yes, I hear what you're saying. The church apparently gives some of its wealth away. How much exactly, we'll never really know because the church refuses to submit to external audits and expects us to take its humanitarian claims on faith. But the church's financial empire dwarfs any of its supposed humanitarian efforts. The 2024 estimates from the Widow's Mite Report, which is the church's financial watchdog, show that the church took in billions of dollars this last year, but its humanitarian giving remains a fraction of its total wealth. Less than 0.5% annually. That's a shamefully low level of giving. And that's if we accept the church's mostly propaganda caring for those in need report at face value. I mean, listen to me, would Jesus have ever said make it $1 trillion? Can you honestly answer yes? Really? If you champion make it $1 trillion, you are loyal to an organization over Jesus and his core message. I mean, all of this is one reason that the Prince of Peace warned, "Do not swear at all, neither by heaven, for it is God's throne, nor by the earth, for it is his footstool, nor by Jerusalem, for it is the city of the great king." Jesus repeatedly, directly rebuked institutional fealty, telling his followers that they shouldn't swear allegiance to an earthly organization, but rather that they should pledge themselves to God. And why is that? Because the minute that you swear allegiance to an earthly organization, you may end up supporting things that are not in alignment with God. With Make It $1 trillion, many LDS members have effectively sworn an oath of loyalty to the institution rather than to Christ's teachings, defending the obscene stockpiling of wealth as if it were some kind of article of faith betrays a lack of care for our fellow brothers and sisters. Because Jesus said that faithfulness is demonstrated through service, humility, and generosity. Would making it $1 trillion really be your desire if you are a follower of Christ? I mean, if the hearts of members were really aligned with Jesus's teachings, would they celebrate an institution's bloated wealth? Or would they be demanding to put those hundreds of billions of dollars to work? You know, feeding the hungry, sheltering the shelterless. Look, instead of cheering make it $1 trillion, Latter-day Saints should be asking the following. Why does our institution hoard billions while Christ called us to give freely? Why does our leadership prioritize financial expansion over direct, large-scale humanitarian efforts? Are we serving God or are we serving Mammon? The sixth celebration of $1 trillion LDS Church is not faithfulness. It's a mockery of what Jesus stood for. If members truly cared about Christ's teachings, they would demand that the church's insane fortune be used today to radically transform people's lives for the better, not amass an even greater fortune for tomorrow.